Feeling good.
Yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Feeling.
My back hurts. But I was putting in work all night. On the yard.
The jungle.
The jungle.
Okay. Alrighty.
Could you imagine if we lived in an HOA?
No.
Could you imagine if someone...
Especially with you being on the road.
Yeah.
Like, we just can't... Well, also, a lot of people in HOAs, like, if they have yards and stuff, kind of like they hire the same people to do it so all the lawns look the same.
Or sometimes it's included.
Yeah.
That's a plus. I get that. I'm not... If you spent $50 a month or $100, whatever, I have no idea what the fuck they are.
I don't know how much it is either.
But if someone came around, did the yard, did all that, right, and it was included, okay, great. But could you imagine them being like, you can't put up a fence or you can't do this? Like the horror stories of HOAs.
Or if you put up a fence, it has to be this one from here, like, not necessarily from here, but it has to be this material. It has to be this color. You can't paint your house this color. I know.
Fuck that.
Yeah, no.
I can't believe.
And then you pay for that. Yeah. You pay for somebody to sit there and regulate you.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
I wouldn't play that game. Just send me to jail. Because I'm painting my house black.
Yeah, you do. You see those horror stories, though, of, like, people who just reject it and they, like, paint their house, like, bright pink. Mm-hmm. And then they get fined by the HOA that they pay.
Yeah.
No.
You hear these horror stories, you know, or like if you have a 2-car garage, you can't have cars sitting in your parking lot.
Driveway.
Yeah, driveway. Or on the road. Mm-hmm. Like no one parks on the road here because there's no room for it. Like it's... Yeah. But if they were like, oh, you can't have that broken down truck in your driveway, I'd be like, you have no idea.
Yeah, like they can only sit there for a certain amount of time, or you have like however long of a time to bring your trash can back in after the trash comes by and dumps it.
I couldn't imagine anyone.
No. I wouldn't, yeah.
I know.
We just would not do well with that.
But like I was talking to Seth, and they got an HOA. Uh-huh. And he's just telling me kind of all the bullshit. And I was like, this is probably like level 1. Like really, you know, menial stuff. Like one day he told me, he's like, I have to go buy another pressure washer to pressure wash the driveway because it's too dirty.
What?
Yeah.
No.
And I'm like, why are you playing their game? Do whatever you want. He's like, I can't.
I think you have to play their game.
Well, because you're the...
Because it's an HOA and you signed up for that.
That's what I'm saying.
Buying a house in that area under that HOA, you signed up for that. But yeah, I would have, a lot of issues.
If anyone ever put like a sticker on the door saying, hey, this bush is too out of control, or your yard's too out of control, or... you know, your truck's dirty, I'd be like, oh my God.
I'd be like, if you have time to put a note on my door or take a picture
mow
of
my
it,
yard, motherfucker.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have plenty of time to do it if you have time to come around and take pictures and regulate and stick notes on my door.
Like some old Karen driving around in a golf cart, judging my house. Someone's losing a grandma today.
Listen. Upside of an HOA. Okay. We would not have the issues with the easement that we have right now with the people living in it.
I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
Like, so
the junkyard in the alley down the block wouldn't be an issue.
Right.
But in the same, it doesn't really affect us because it doesn't go on our property.
It doesn't go on our property, and where our house is situated to where that is situated,
we don't see it.
I never see it.
Exactly.
But it does affect our neighbors. I do feel bad for them. And they just have cars going in and out constantly. They have dogs that are running loose in the neighborhood, which I get if your dog gets out occasionally. I think Money's gotten out before. Bear got out before. The two ran off one night when we just had the garage door open.
Like idiots.
Well, yeah, we were drinking and not paying attention to the dogs.
We just thought the dogs
But
were
in like 12, 13 years, that's the only time that
I've ever, once.
Gotten out. And this is on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So things like that, I could see it and but do I want to pay for that? No, I just want good neighbors that respect you just like you respect them, and they try to keep. And here's the thing with our neighborhood that's wonderful. At a certain point during the summer, almost nobody waters their lawn so that it all dies, because all the lawns are so big here. Nobody wants to be out there mowing it. No. So everybody's yard looks really good for a while, and then everybody's yard is dead for a while.
Yeah, no one, I don't see anyone, like at least on our block, no one actually waters their lawn. It stays like green until like after the 4th of July. The end of July, it starts dying off. August, September, and then it's brown, and then it just doesn't grow. It might not be like bad, but it really, like, you're starving your lawn.
Yeah.
And then by the end of summer, you have nothing to mow.
Yeah.
It's dead.
That's just the only thing is like, I like it because it does regulate the people who don't do it or whatever. But I mean, around here, everybody just kind of does the same thing, and we don't have to have an HOA. Now we also have a junkyard in the easement, and it's stupid, but.
Could you imagine if some asshole on this block started like watering their yard all summer long? The whole neighborhood would revolt. They'd be like, no, they all have to look shitty at the same time.
You need to stop doing that, because all of our lawns look good, and then they all look like shit at the same time.
Same time. Like, we're not wasting water. I'm not wasting water.
Yeah.
Just to, like,
just to mow.
Yeah. Just to mow.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. I mow because it rains up until July.
Yeah.
The occasional rain once a week. That's the water.
Yeah.
Why would I ever turn sprinklers on, you fucking assholes? If someone did it, the whole neighborhood revolts.
I think so.
I would start a petition. If you
but our
ever
petitions
water
don't work because there's still shit in the alley.
Yeah.
Can't get that taken care of, but we sure as shit can get someone to stop watering their lawn.
Yeah. But I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine still mowing your yard in September. It's hot. Like, August, September is so hot. So, and you're just on the verge of, like, going into fall and rain, right?
And all of the leaves.
All the leaves and everything. It's like, why would you ever water your yard? Just let it die.
In HOAs, you have to.
Well, that's... Thank goodness.
Which is why we don't live in an HOA. I mean, people would not pay extra money to live in this neighborhood for an HOA.
I think they would. If everyone sold their houses... No, listen. If everyone sold their houses and then an HOA was formed and people from out of state started buying property... They'd buy it in a second and wouldn't think twice.
Well, yeah, because it's like
as of right
our
now,
neighborhood. Well, I know that's what I'm saying. Like,
no.
Nobody here would pay for an HOA. I'm not saying like in the future, because like seriously, it is a very desirable neighborhood that we live in because we're so close to town. It feels farther away. The lots are a good size. Yes, which is why a lot of people have motorhomes and 15 cars, and because those 15 cars don't have to be in our driveway. They can be on the other part of our property and not affecting your driveway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. I saw some post about an HOA and someone was complaining. It sounded pretty petty. There's stuff I don't even think about, right? Your bush is dying. It's brown. This, that.
You have too many weeds here. You have...
Like, bitch, my whole backyard's weeds.
That's the only reason it's green and
That's
not
the only
dirt.
reason I knock it down. If it was grass, I could mow maybe once every week and a half. Twice a week. Weeds.
Yeah.
But when it's cut down, it looks like really good cut grass.
Yeah, it's just nice and dark green. And
yeah, it looks good.
Covers.
Could you imagine if we ever watered the backyard? No.
Well, no, because here's the thing, like the pool we drain, That water is enough. We have the dog pool that we change out. That's enough water. That section of the grass is so thick and green and actual grass. Mm-hmm. Hell no. I wouldn't want to water all those weeds and stuff on the other side. Yeah.
It's a nightmare. I don't know. I was just on an HOA kick this morning, and I was like, fuck that. You read the horror stories. I love reading HOA horror stories. Love them. Because it's like, oh, okay, I can deal with the neighbors in the junkyard.
Yeah.
I can deal with whatever. Like when it comes to like the neighborhood, the downsides of it.
Yeah.
Because I could care less about the HOA.
I just don't think that... I don't know. I just don't see paying for somebody just to regulate the neighborhood. To me, that doesn't make sense.
I agree. I want my yard to look good. I want my house to look good. But guess what?
And I want my neighbors to do that too.
Yeah, I want my neighbors to do that too, but I don't want them enforced. I just want to live next to good neighbors. Because then you have shitty neighbors and it's dependent on them being fined by an HOA.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
All of our neighbors are great except a handful that we really don't have to really deal with. You don't see it. It's not out the window. It's not a big problem. But would I want to live next to them? Oh, fuck no.
Right. Well, that's also why we built a 6-foot privacy fence around the backyard.
I don't want to see any of these motherfuckers.
I don't want to see any of that. How she used to hang her laundry over the chain link fence to dry.
Yeah, the dogs would steal it.
Yeah.
That's my rant.
Your HOA rant?
Oh, man, I was on a kick this morning.
All right. Am I the asshole for not sharing my stepdad's inheritance with my brother?
Ugh.
My 25 female dad passed away when I was very young. My mom married my stepdad Lee when I was 5. Lee is wealthy, and my mom never had to work, and I was given everything growing up. The only thing we never received was acceptance from Lee's family. They were not pleased that Lee chose to marry a widow with a child. Lee and I were close, and he continued to care for me even after my brother, Sam, 18 now, was born. My mom clearly favored Sam and didn't really focus on me much. Lee's relatives warmed up to my mom a little bit with the birth of Sam, but I was still treated like something invisible. Sam was often invited to Lee's relatives' houses to play, and he and I are not very close. I decided to go to university overseas, and Lee gave me enough money that I didn't have to work or worry financially. He also was the only one calling or writing me regularly. I talked to my mom or Sam like once every couple of months during my university days. After graduation, Lee wanted me to come home, but I wanted to work and be on my own for a bit. The pandemic happened, and I was unable to fly back. When the lockdown was over, my family came to visit me once and left when I preferred to continue working where I am. Lee came to visit me a few more times by himself. A few months ago, Lee passed from a disease he never let anyone know he had. In his will, he left his businesses and house and most valuables to his relatives. My mom, almost nothing, though she can keep what he's already given her. 2 cars, jewelry, cash, around $60K. My mom never legally married him.
Oh.
Sam, $150,000, and the rest of the money to me. It was 7 figures, a life-changing amount. Turns out, Sam is not Lee's biological child, which he found out recently.
Oh, snap.
My mom and Sam were mad, of course, and demanded that I share money with them. I said I was willing to put the money in some low-risk investments and we can split the gain. Not good enough. They wanted at least 25% each of what Lee had left me. I argued that it's not like they are left destitute. Sam can still go to a good university if he cares enough to further education, and my mom has enough money to get her own place, and the investments will give us all long-term income. They called me greedy, and planned to take legal action. But Lee's relatives told them that they could make my mom and Sam's life very difficult if they tried to give me a hard time and go against Lee's wishes. I intend to do as I promised them, splitting the gains from the investment with my mom and Sam. I won't let them touch the money Lee left me because I don't trust them to not go through that money in just a few years.
Exactly what she just said.
Yeah.
And that's nice. It's being very generous, right?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, mom fucked around.
Obviously.
Got knocked up. Illegitimate kid. And he's still got money.
They still got money. He was never legally married to her.
Ugh.
And the family who ignored her is like...
On her side.
On her side. If that's what Lee wanted...
Yeah. And the way I kind of look at it, right? Just in all this stuff, like just inheritance, you just kind of have to go by their wishes. You don't have to agree with them. They don't have to make any sense. Guess what? You didn't make any of the fucking money, right?
Yeah.
But this is what the person wanted, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's like when people are like, I'm going to donate all the money to charity. All of it. You all are broke. And then everyone goes, we're going to fight it in court. Yeah, of course you're going to fight it in court.
Yeah, because you're being greedy.
Because you're broke.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And the fact, obviously, she was a good person and he really did love her like a kid.
Yeah.
And so he knows, like, I can give her this amount of money and the good she will do and how it will probably not just affect her, but her family, her kids, like, and even long term.
Yeah. And even look at it. Lee didn't say she had to share any of it or anything. They're being assholes about it. They want 25% each, which means they want 50% of the money he left her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm still going to put it in some low risk investments and I'll split the income with them. Mm-hmm. Even though they're being assholes. Yeah. Like, she's still this good person who's like, well, I mean, this is what I'm going to do because...
In her head, it's right and mom. Fair.
Yeah, it's still her brother. Mm-hmm. But I think she's 100% right. Don't let him touch a dime of that money or wherever it is because... Gone. Oh, yeah.
And then they'll be like, come up with another reason of how they got screwed.
Oh, yeah.
People like that, you're like, look, I'm going to put in an annuity. It's going to be in a trust. It's going to be managed. And you're going to get your dividend.
X amount of dollars.
Every year.
Yeah.
And you're lucky. Like, just shut up and take it. Because you can't give someone too much money where they will just...
I mean, you can if you know how they are.
If they're smart and responsible and say, hey, I want to go out and work and I want to build a family and I want to do all this other stuff. This money just makes it easier for me. Versus like, oh, I'll never have to work and I'm just going to be a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's nicer than what some people would do. Like, think about it. If someone got, I know I could think of a couple people who would get that money and disappear. You'd never see them again. Yeah. Like, family-wise. Like, I am not even going to put up with, like, I'm paid. I never have to talk to you again. Mm-hmm. And it would affect them so weirdly. Yeah. Money-wise.
Money does change people. Not all people, but it does change some people.
I would get weird if I won a bunch of money.
You just disappear.
I mean, I might disappear.
just so that you don't have those people coming to you. Yeah. Being like, oh, I need a loan, or I need this, or I need that, or, you know, you can help me. And just so, that's what I'm saying. Like, you kind of disappeared that way of being like, I don't want to deal with fucking creeps coming out of the woodwork just because I came into some money.
I would probably be like, I donated 100% of it to charity. You'll never get a dime. I'm not getting a dime. I don't want, but I'd obviously would keep a bunch of the money and do some cool shit. Be like, I haven't heard from you in 3 years, and somehow magically you need a loan because you're hard up.
Yeah.
Like, your life's hard up because you make terrible decisions all day long.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're like, how can I plan to make the next terrible decision of my life?
Yeah. All right, well, so there's some relative comments.
This money ain't gonna fix you.
Yeah.
Relative comments, okay?
Relevant. So by 7 figures, you mean you're a millionaire now? The difference between that and 150K is pretty staggering. Why did Lee choose to punish Sam by leaving him only a fraction of what he left you? Lee cared for you a lot, despite not you being his biological child. So it's odd to think that he might be blaming Sam for not being his biological child. Did Sam and Lee not get along? As for your mother, yikes. She was not good to you. You're planning on being too generous with her. And OP wrote, yes, I am fully considered a millionaire with my inheritance. As for Sam, he has always been spoiled and difficult. My mom never said no to him, and he got everything he wanted. Lee was the stricter parent, but Sam would always hide behind someone, like Lee's relatives, when he got in trouble. He had to repeat a grade because he refused to put in any work, and I would say his academic record would not give him good university choices. He had already wrecked 2 cars from reckless driving. He was also caught shoplifting when he was 16. I completely understand Lee not wanting to leave him more money than he did. Sam is completely clueless about his bio dad, though. Even my mom said she was almost certain Sam had to be Lee's child because there was only one other guy in... My mom has had no contact with him for years. So.
I'm almost certain was the other guy I was fucking.
Yeah. Of course you're almost certain that it's the rich guy that you were fucking, not the other one. And which makes me wonder, like...
If you always had her at bay, they didn't get married.
Exactly. Did he think, like, okay, I don't think this is my kid, and that's why I'm not going to, like, actually marry you?
Or maybe it was, I don't trust her in general.
It could be.
Nothing to do with the kid, but maybe it's, I just don't trust her.
Yeah.
So I don't want to marry her.
That could be. So she said, thank you. I talked to a lawyer. I told her my plan to continue living overseas and that I planned on going LC, low contact, with my mom and brother. She said I should set aside money for my mom and brother in the form of a trust fund. They will be paid X per month, but can't touch anything else. I don't trust them both with a huge amount of money, so this way they will always have a steady income in their lives. I know this is against Lee's wishes, but I need to take care of them. I already have a will set up that everything will go to charities. I make decent money at my job, so I set up a will a while back. My family knows this when everyone visited me that last time. Sam still has a year of school before university, so he should still be living with my mom in the meantime. My mom has a room in a high-rise that Lee gave her a while back, so they should be fine with a place to live. I plan to support Sam's university expenses. He's not academically inclined, but in our culture, he will definitely be pushed to go to university. I'm still working with my lawyer to see how that can be without having to get too heavily involved. As to why Lee never found out about Sam, my mom is mixed race while both of her children's fathers and Lee are the same race. Sam and I look like her, so it's hard to tell. I don't know why Lee decided to investigate after all this time. He was to blame for Sam being spoiled too, with how much he'd been letting Sam spend over the years. My mom is 10 plus years younger than Lee. Maybe that's why she had the affair. She has a university degree, so she could get a job if she wants. Her jewelry should be worth near 6 figures. Lee's relatives took carrying out his intentions seriously. Ever since Sam became more problematic in his teens, the relatives tolerated him for their blood connections. Now that he's not, my mom and Sam are instantly in their bad book, I guess. Once this mess is more settled, I'm thinking of asking my workplace for a relocation. A change of scenery would be nice.
She just sounds like she's
so level-headed.
So smart and like...
And she's 25.
Like, there's a reason, right? Right there.
Absolutely.
There's a reason he was like, I want you to be in control of the majority of this money.
Yeah.
Is because he trusted her. She was just as much blood relative as the other kid.
Mm-hmm.
But
100%.
She's smart and she's level-headed and just sounds like a good person.
Yeah.
You know?
And she said, she's like, even though I'm going against like his wishes, I just don't feel it's right that I don't do something to try to support them because the money wasn't hers either. Mm-hmm. And so if she's in a good place, she is able to at least help them out. Like, she didn't say that it could 100% support them. It just said that they would have steady income.
It would be like, you always have a place to live, and there's always going to be some food on the table. How is this door not closing? The title is Strip Club for My Fiance's Bachelor Party. I'm not okay with it. Objectifying women for the sake of male bonding is fucking weird. If you want to see boobies galore, what? Before you get married, then you shouldn't be getting married. It's stupid. I need some hard facts on this from other people who have had the same thought or maybe similar experience. I need more info to back up in my conversation with him later.
I think that you should already have your own backup to that because it's your feeling to go to him with.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
you want
why
hard
do you need
facts?
Yeah, why do you need hard facts? And
it's how you feel.
Yeah, and I also think a lot of women who work in strip clubs do it because they make a lot of money. Mm-hmm. It works around their schedule. They like it. Mm-hmm. Okay, so they know exactly what they're doing if they're going to go work in a strip club. Mm-hmm. They know that they're going to go take their clothes off for money. Mm-hmm. How is that objectifying them?
I don't know. Obviously, I didn't go to a strip club on my bachelor party.
No. You would have just run into a bunch of high school girls that you went to high school with.
We had one strip club club in our town, and we knew half the girls, so we just didn't go.
You just didn't go there.
Yeah. I remember it was like before we met, so I was 18 or whatever. And it was a bunch of friends. We all went. Mm-hmm. And the whole time I like sat there and talked to like one girl I went to high school with.
Yeah.
And like not weird. I was like, she had her clothes on or whatever, but it was like, we just talked. And it wasn't.
Yeah. Because you have one strip club.
Yeah. You know some girls.
You're going to know some of them.
You know, so.
Well, and I also just think that I get how it can seem like a barbaric thing or whatever, but it's also not. It's not a requirement. Mm. So if you're sitting there saying, if a guy has to go do this before he gets married, he shouldn't be getting married. Okay, maybe he shouldn't be getting married to you. Maybe there's other girls out there who it's not that big of a deal with.
Yeah. Like, the way I look at it is, if you're so insecure with marrying a guy who maybe it's not for him, maybe his buddies are putting it on. It's not even like this. I don't look at it as like this requirement for a bachelor party. Yeah. But sometimes guys want to go out and have some beers, go to a strip club, stare at some titties, you know.
Yeah.
And then be like, cool, let's go out and do this. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like this rite of passage. I never got the whole thing.
No, but you went, wasn't it like your uncle's bachelor party?
To the strip club?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't go.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
Oh.
We took his new stepkid.
Oh.
He just turned 18.
To the strip club?
To the strip club. His mom was pissed.
Oh, I bet. But yeah. And that's what I'm saying. We were married at the time. I didn't really care that you went to the strip club.
Yeah.
Like, it's a strip club. Like, sometimes you see more on movies or late night television than you do at a strip club. Sometimes, depending on the one.
Not the one I went to.
Yeah, I know. Probably not the one that you went to. But what I'm saying
I told you the stories of it, and you weren't mad at me. You were just...
No, because, okay, what I was actually mad about was, like, the fact that you guys, like, one, I knew I couldn't go on the trip with you.
Yeah.
Like, out of state, 'cause I had to watch animals and stuff like that. And I wanted you to be able to go to your uncle's wedding. But it was, like, whenever we were hanging out with, like, your sister or, like, other people who did go to it, it was the inside jokes that were just, like, nonstop. So it wasn't the fact that you went to a strip club. It wasn't that you told me some of the stories and I was like, that shit's crazy. But it was more of like whenever we got together with the other people who went, and it was like just these constant, like, so you're just sitting there listening and you like,
and none of them went,
but like, yeah, but it was like, oh, haha, that's a funny inside joke. And I'm like, yeah, that we've joked about for the last 5 fucking times we've been together. Like,
yeah,
there's a time to just like knock it off.
Yeah. I know. I didn't bring it up. It was one fucking fun, crazy night, you know? Man, she was so mad we took her kid. And he wanted to go. It was just going to be...
Yeah, he was an 18-year-old. Like, he just turned 18. I thought your uncle went. That's funny that he
No, you did. You really thought he went?
I don't think I ever even just, like, asked you. I think I just figured.
We went to the strip club, like, a day or two after the wedding.
Oh, maybe I remember that. I don't know. It was so long ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I was mad. It wasn't that you went to a strip club. I could care less about that.
I just wanted to go out drinking.
We've gone to strip clubs together. Yeah. Like, it's not weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like the inside jokes that drove me crazy. But it
was all their inside jokes. None of them were even there.
That's funny.
You know, no one, all those other people who were making jokes, none of them went.
Yeah. So yeah, I just think that, like, if you're that upset about it and, like, he's planning it or whatever, or maybe he's not even planning it and his friends are or whatever, if he doesn't relay to his friends that, like, hey, my girl's not okay with this, and I don't want to do this, maybe you guys shouldn't, like, be getting married.
Yeah, and the way I look is like, okay, there's a certain amount of, right, she's just not okay with it, the insecurity, maybe the jealousy, whatever it is, right? But if he's not being like, hey, I don't want to go because it makes my girlfriend feel this way, and I don't want to, I don't know, have my bachelor party at a strip club. A lot of people don't want to do that. It's just... I didn't want to do that. I did not want to. Yeah.
A lot of time, it's just like outdated and.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like, get a hooker. Why are you paying strippers?
Yeah.
This is 2020. You know what I mean? It's just dumb. I don't get it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying is, like, you don't need people on the internet to back you. If that's your feeling.
You don't need
and he's not,
facts.
And he's not. He's like, oh, I want to go.
Yeah.
There's some other things going on there.
She sounds young.
I don't know.
Objectifying women for the sake of male bonding.
That does not necessarily sound like...
No, the boobies galore. Sounds like
that does sound young.
Yeah.
Boobies galore.
Galore. Be like, lady, everyone has a phone in their pocket.
That's why I said booty traps.
Booby traps. I don't know. I guess... I never wanted to go to the strip club when it was my bachelor party. We just went out and got drunk.
Yeah. Like, incredibly.
And then, like, chaos. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Your dad went with it. It was rad. But that was another reason. It was like, I want your dad to go, and I think my dad went for part of it or whatever.
Your dad went for a little bit of it.
Yeah, he wasn't drinking, right? He doesn't drink. But, like, obviously... I want it to be like a social thing. And I love hanging out with your dad. So, of course, come on, you know.
Yeah.
So, in no way am I going to let my buddies be like, we're going to the strip club. No, the fuck we aren't.
Well,
I am not sitting next to my brand new father-in-law.
Yeah, at a strip club.
Yeah. It's not going to happen.
No, that just seems awkward as shit.
Never. Never.
That is not how this is going to go down.
Yeah, we just went out and got drunk, got in trouble. I had fun. I wouldn't want to do it any other way, but that's how I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
How someone else wants to have their bachelor party?
Well, and that's what
it.
I think too. That's where I'm just like, this is what makes me wonder is one, does she just think every single guy goes out and like that's why she's writing this? Mm-hmm. Or is it he was like, oh, I want to go and I don't care about your feelings about it? Mm-hmm. Like, is she jumping the gun by being like, I need to come with facts and basically tell him you're not going to the strip club before he's ever even said that he's going?
You know what would be my red flag? If, like, you came to me and said, you can't go to the strip club, I don't want you to, it makes me feel this way, whether I said I was going to or not.
Like, just coming at you
telling me,
with
like,
telling you what you're going to do. And
I'm not okay with you doing this on your bachelor party night.
Well, I think you're right. I think it's how you
like if you're that insecure.
Conversation.
Right?
No, I think it's how you come at that conversation. I can be that insecure. That's my feeling. But it's like coming at you, and instead of being like, "Hey, I don't know what you plan on doing for your bachelor party, but I'm kind of nervous. Are you planning this? Because I'm pretty insecure and I don't know how I'm going to feel about it." Would be different than if I came at you and said, no way in fuck are you going to a strip club? Don't even think about it. Tell your friends no.
Mm-hmm. You're like, that's a glimpse into your life. That's a glimpse into
your
future life. She is now going to dictate what you get to do.
Well, and not only that, like, just coming at somebody like that is way different than being like, all right, this has kind of been weighing on my mind. I'm a little nervous. How are we going to do this? Like, what are your plans?
Didn't you go to, like, one of the guys,
No.
I thought you did. I thought you went with some friends. It wasn't even a bachelor party. It was just...
Bachelorette?
But yeah, whatever.
No.
Okay, I thought you did.
Because my mom was with us.
Oh, and you were like, I don't want to do that.
That and because your sister was in the bridal party and she was underage. So she had to go home at a certain point, obviously, because then we started going to straight, just like bars. But we had to choose some places that she could go into, obviously not drink. Yeah, to be able to do all that. My mom was there. Patty was there, and then like after that, and basically like mom and Patty, your mom was there too, but they were all there just to kind of like wrangle us and get us moving on and like keep our shit together because and then I think also like at some point like my mom and Patty left. I think your mom kind of like stayed in charge of us. Like I don't know why I feel like that, but there's only a few pictures from
past
that night. At a certain point, and it's like I don't know. I know somebody gave us a ride or we took a cab or something, like ending, because we all ended up back at home, obviously. But after a certain point, I don't know how that went. But no, I did not. I went to the Thunder Down Under here with Tasha. No, Amanda. I think I ran into Tasha there. But that came here.
Oh.
And they didn't even, it was in Casey's.
No.
And like it wasn't even like I want to say because I've never been to like the one say in Vegas or anything like that, so I don't know how like fully down they get or anything. It was basically like exactly what you would see on like Magic Mike the movie is all.
Yeah. So whatever. I thought it was funny, but yeah, the way she's like trying to collect facts. Doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.